This morning. First things first. Actually, there's nothing in them. I have a tendency to store stuff inside of pots. Not necessarily a good idea. These guys are several years old now. Well over a decade. Work like a hot darn. They're cast iron Dutch ovens, which with an enamel coating. Because of the size of this oven, I'm going to use these two to bake. We're still going to use 445. Now, Dutch ovens, truthfully, they take a little longer, this kind, to fully come to heat. So I am preheating 445. I'm just going to set up quick. I've let these cast iron enamel pots, pans, Dutch ovens, geez. It's all good. I have let them preheat an extra 15 minutes more than I did the other ones, just because with the cast iron it's more of a flash heat. Again, safety first. These are all 100% cotton towels. I make them. I know what they're made out of. They're, you know, one of the best ways to protect your counters. I've actually had, I think I've explained it. I have a red trivet, which is one of those wire protectors. It melted. Didn't fully, but the coating did slightly the first time I did a cast iron, and I will never do that twice. So I stick to 100% cotton. Lots of folks like me crochet. You can pick those up, I don't know, through Etsy. A lot of your neighbors would probably sell it. You can probably get it on Marketplace or something. Anyways, I'm babbling again. Oh, the temperature dropped. Just a second. Well, it's not going to make much of a difference. Interesting. Still getting used to this oven. I did hit 445. I'm only a few degrees off. It's not going to make a huge difference. Like I said, they've been preheating for an extra 15-20 minutes. I'm going to wait for the oven to come up. The cast iron will come up with it. In the meantime, I'm preparing the parchment very quickly. We're still recording, 2 minutes in. I can delete that out. We are here. Ready to go. This one, again, is Cassie Junior. This one is Basil Junior. Basil. Yeah, she's ready. Sweet spot. 15-14 hours for cold fermentation usually works out really well. But when you start getting to the 16 hours, depending on the temperature of the day, again, all these things you've got to worry about. You could be a little over. But the bread is still edible. If it's not a perfect loaf and you're very particular, you can always do croutons as well. Make breadcrumbs with it for chicken parmesan, etc. As long as it's not flour, it's a pancake, right? Now these guys are more than overly sweet. So I'll trim off the excess. You don't have to do this. I don't like all the stuff that sticks out. switch to over here because I will need to move fast. There we go. All I do is I put my hand at the bottom of the loaf, let the parchment paper catch it, and then gently lower her down. Got our razor blade. Go slow when you're picking up a razor blade. Still makes a nice design if you want to leave a little behind, a little extra, but it sticks to the dough anyway, so you don't genuinely have to. Next. That should be fine. And there we go, everything's up to heat. So I have a minute. I am still recording. I'm very nervous about it now. Okay. Not gonna do anything fancy. Just one score. Nothing fancy this time. It's okay. Don't overthink it. I didn't go deep on that score, and it was a slightly different angle, so no big deal. No big deal. Now, this is going to be fun. Do one at a time. Oh, you're warm and toasty. Look at the color difference. This is the other reason you know she's ready. All right. So I'll put Cassie in this one. Watch your hands, folks. Watch your hands. Do this briefly. Oh, shit. Sorry, I swore. I've set off the smoke detector. In she goes. Yeah. You're baking 2 loaves. Definitely keep it to the sides of the oven, not the center of the oven. All right. 25 minutes covered. Let's see where we're at. First bake with the new starter. 25 minutes. This one is Cassie. Holy Spring. There we go. Back in she goes. This one is Basil, the new one. Nowhere near the spring, but good enough. Still a good bread. Back in she goes. Better be thing cool. These are going to be hot for a while. Okay. Awesome. 20 more minutes. That was 25. Okay. Here we go. Turning this off. Oh. All the extra noise can stop. Okay. This is Cassie. She is an old 3-year-old girl. Lots of oven spring. If you like a desert crust, you could easily let this go for another 5 more minutes. I'm not a fan. It's got the bubble. Some people die for this. I just love it. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's the snapping, if you listen. That cracking is music to my ears. But mostly, it's about this. This is a 3-year-old, very happy, very healthy starter. She's been fed Cassie Junior a couple of times now, so I didn't just do a cold feed. I did a cold and then a warm feed. So this is what's happening here. And that's great oven spring. That's beautiful. This is where people become obsessed. And I get it. Truthfully, I'm obsessed. I love it. I kept doing it for a decade. Where can I put this? Here. I'm well into coming up to 15 years for sourdough. Here we go. Now, here's our lovely little basil. I had great results. Truthfully, better than I thought. You can still see some pulling here, so more growth than I expected. I expected this to be a slightly flatter loaf. Truthfully, I did. But I have also been baking with sourdough fairly regularly over the last little while. Some of that yeast in the air could have easily gotten in here. But when we open them up and I cut into them, we'll see what the crumb looks like. The point of this experiment, you can do a sourdough starter. You don't have to be precise with the measurements, and you don't have to do discard. So that's been proven. All-purpose flour is also usable with sourdough starters. That's been proven. The point to you making bread is to eat it. That's my opinion. But if you're looking for the ultimate best looking loaf, this recipe is great for beginners. It's a lower hydration, and it's roughly 4 cups of all-purpose flour to 1.5 cups of distilled water and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I've worked out the math 696 grams of all-purpose flour, 374 grams of distilled water, and 10 grams of salt. That will also be on my blog. For beginners, this works. And most importantly, don't be discouraged if it doesn't come up like this. Cassie is 3 years old, my mature starter. Her culture produces more gas and is more ready to go when you bake. This one, again, I'm shocked at how much she did come up, but also a very healthy starter. I didn't expect her to rise so much. I did expect her to be a little flatter, and her flavor will be different than Cassie's too. So she will be more mild and gentle, and Cassie is on the sour side because she's also developed a hooch over time, which I just keep stirring back in. So if you're a beginner baker, try this recipe. I highly recommend it. The fold method works as well as the kneading. I've established that as well. The younger starters can give you this results, but if you don't get the results, try a little longer. A 10-day starter is stronger than a 7-day starter. Juno will be stronger still when I'm ready to bake with him. I'm so human. But yeah, here we go. I'm content. You could have had more of an ear, but you can just see the fermentation happened, and it was a happy fermentation. The fermentation is simply it's bubbles, right? As the yeast eats, it produces bubbles. The stronger and older the yeast in the culture, the happier your bubbles will be. That's the end of this experiment. I will feed Juno one more time tomorrow. That's 12 days. I can now guarantee you that Juno would be ready to bake. You didn't have to do the discard, but I will show you how to prepare your sourdough for feeding and then into the fridge tomorrow. And we're done. Other than rye bread and a few other things, but not this week. Have a great day. Bye. Alrighty. It's coming up to noon, which means this is cool enough to cut. I'm just saving the first part of this video. This will be the end of my, after tomorrow, my daily posts. And again, thank you very much. If you've been following me for the bread, I will not be making you crazy for a while. Tomorrow, one more bake after that, and then it's just back to me being crazy. Are we recording? Yes. All right. Sorry, I really do have to keep these much shorter. The one video that I'm saving, it could take up to 10 minutes to save them. So, this is basil. I am going to be sharing this bread, depending on the result. Yeah. So she did rise. She's much wetter. Could have gone a little longer, truthfully, I think. But for a first bake with a sourdough starter, a young sourdough starter, this is a perfectly good bread. Good formation, you can start to see it. Still a very tight crumb, but a perfectly healthy, happy loaf of bread. Hello, basil. Now, for comparison, I think that could have dried just a little bit longer too. Cooled, sorry. That smells. It's almost sweet. This mixture is, to me, it's very sweet, lovely. So this is our Cassie Junior. Bigger bubbles, just slightly. More mature. Don't have the same edge that you have on this one. Here. Versus that little bit of wet. So there was really truly no difference. You can see who rose more. Forgive the mess. So basil easily could have gone a little bit longer. You're going to have a more dense bread with the newer starters, and that's okay. You can still eat it. But this with the all-purpose flours, this is good. This is really healthy, truthfully. And as far as all-purpose flours and the low hydration dough goes, if you're a beginner baker and you want to get into the sourdoughs, use this recipe. I'm going to be adjusting moving forward. It's too heavy for my tastes, but it's still a really good bread to get started with. And I can definitely see, again, it's pretty, stands up well. This dough would take certain fruits really well, but I'm going to work on the proportions because this is what I do, right? I take something, I play with it, I try to replicate it, and then I try to improve upon it. I'm happy. Successful bake. So if you are new to sourdough baking, expect these results. She's 3 years old. She's officially 10 days old. There will be a difference. In another 24 days, this will be lovely. They grow. The yeast, the culture in here, yeah, it does change as it grows older. Just keep trying. All right, I gotta get some other stuff done. Juno's been fed. We'll show you how to put Juno to sleep tomorrow in terms of putting it in the refrigerator. And this way you can do slow bakes, slower fermentations. Again, it changes the flavor versus leaving it out on your counter. Leaving them out on the counter and baking every day, gorgeous, but not practical. All right, we're done. Part 2, this will be part of part 2, day 11. And day 12 will be the last time I annoy you with all the videos. Have a good day. Talk to you later.